Hello everyone, my name is Mona Lisa Shinde and I welcome you all to the channel SS Tech Phoenix, an exemplary learning community. Today we are going to discuss SQL commands and especially DDL, that is Data Definition Language commands. So let's start. These are the contents of our video. Types of SQL commands. Actually, there are 5 types of SQL commands, and out of that, we are going to discuss only DDL, that is Data Definition Language commands. These are the 5 DDL commands: create, alter, rename, drop, and truncate. We are going to see their syntax and examples, their use, like that. So first is, what are the types of SQL commands? I have already uploaded a video, that is introduction to the types of SQL commands, which describes what is SQL and how these commands are categorized into these 5 types. I also explained the significance of all these commands in that video. You can check the link into the description box for more details. So in brief, SQL commands are categorized into these 5 types: DDL, DML, DCL, C for control, TCL, transaction control language, DQL, data query language. Out of that, we are going to study only DDL commands into this video. I will upload these separate videos for all these types. So we are going to focus on DDL commands. There are 5 DDL commands which are used to operate in the SQL. First, data definition language commands. First of all, what is SQL? SQL is an structured query language which uses structure to store the data. Structure means like tables. Tables are created using rows and columns. So data in SQL is in the form of rows and columns. So DDL, the commands, deals with the structure of table. Means we can create the table, we can change the structure of table, we can change its name, we can drop means delete that table, we can delete the information from the table, like that. Means all these commands help us to deal with the structure of table and not with the actual data in the table. Another point is, all these commands are auto-commit. Means when we perform any operation into the database and whatever happens in that database, that change will be permanently stored into the database. There is no need to use another commands to save that changes. So we are going to study first command, create command. Create command is used to create a new table into the database. Syntax is create table, table name means here whatever the name we want to give that table, that will come here, and column name, its data type. We can list out the number of columns, means if we want 4 columns, then all that 4 columns will come side by side and their data types. This is an example of create table. Create table, these are the 2 words, and table name. Table name is student. Column name, name is the column name. Varchar means this is the type of data, means data type of this column. Address, varchar 2, and marks, that are of integer data type. So this is the database of a student. It creates a table of this format. Name is the first column, address is the second one, and marks is the third one. Using this create command, we can create a structure of a table. This is called as a structure of table. So next DDL command is alter command. This command is used to alter the structure of the database. Now in SQL, database is stored in the tables. So this command is used to change the structure of tables. Now change in the sense, To add or delete the columns or to modify the characteristics of existing columns. Now first, you may surprise that why they are dealing with only columns and not the rows. Now we know that DDL commands do not deal with the data in the database, while rows contains the data in tables. So these DDL commands do not deal with the rows in the table. So what we left with only column. Columns are the only entity which maintains the structure of table. That's why this alter command is used to deal with the columns. Means we can add new column, we can delete the existing columns, or we can change the characteristics of an existing column. Now what is mean by characteristics of columns? I will explain this in the next slide. First, we will see how to add a new column in the table. Syntax is alter table, then table name. Here we will write the name of the table of which we want to change the column or we want to add the column. This add and then column name. Column name means whatever column we want to add, then that name and its data type. First example is alter table student add dob date. Now here student is the table name and dob is the column name and date is the data type. So see, this is an previous means existing table in the database. Student is the name and it has three columns: name, address and marks. So the user wants to add a new column into the table and that column name should be DOB and its data type should be date. DOB means date of birth. That's why they have specified the data type date. Whenever that operation is performed, changes will be like this. Means name, address and marks were the previous columns and now this DOB date of birth column will be added newly into the table. So with the help of alter table command, we have modified the structure of the table and we have added the new column into the table. Just like that, we can add multiple columns at a time. Like in same student table, we can add two columns. Last name means last name of the student and first name, and we can add many more columns in single query. Next is we can delete the columns from the table using the alter command. For that, syntax is alter table table name. We have to specify the word drop column and here column name, the column which we want to delete from the table. So example is alter table student. See, student is the table and here we want to drop the column address. We don't need this address column, so we need to drop or we need to delete this address column using alter table command. When that query is fired, it will result into this type of structure. See, first name, last name and directly the column is marks. This address column was now deleted from the table. So this alter command is also used to delete the columns from the table. Next is alter command is used to change the data type of any column or to change characteristics of the column. Characteristics in the sense constraints. We can add or drop the constraints. Now what it is means we will see later. First see how we can change the data type of any column using alter command. This is the syntax to change the data type. Alter table, table name, alter column, column name and data type. We have to specify the table where we want to change it, specify the column name where we want to change the data type, and data type, here we have to specify the new data type what we want to give. Means for example, see, this is a student table and it has these columns. Now maybe here marks column is of integer data type. That's why there are some integer numbers. Now I want to change this column to the float data type. Then how we can write this? Alter table student. Now student is the table name, that's why student. alter column marks. Now marks is the column name where I want to change the data type, and float. Now this is the new data type which I want to give, then float we have to specify. Once we write this, then after that column becomes the float data type. Its data type becomes float type. So after that we can add the float values into marks column. See, I have added some float values to this column. Then it is possible with the help of alter command. Now next is alter command is also used to change the characteristics. Now characteristics in the sense constraints. We can add or delete the constraints. Now what is mean by constraints? It means rules. With the help of constraints, we can limit the data to enter into the database. Means we can make some rules that this type of data only go into the database. These are some common constraints used in SQL. I am going to upload a separate video for the constraints in detail, and I will give the link in the description box. So back to the alter command. It is used to change the means to add the constraint. Alter table, table name, alter column. It is the column where we want to add the constraint. That is the column name. We have to specify its data type and constraint. Whatever we want to add the constraint, that constraint name. This is student table and it has these four columns. First name, last name, address, marks. See, this column don't have this value first name. We don't know the name or first name of this student. Still, that table is accepting the data. It is storing that data into the database. But if we don't want such blank fields in this, then we can add not null constraint. See, alter table, table name. Student is the table name. Alter column, column name. First name is the column name where we want to add the constraint. We have specified its data type, and now constraint name not null is the constraint name. Once we specify such constraint, then this table will never accept the null values into it. Then we must have specified any value to the database. Then only that record will be stored, otherwise that record will be discarded from the system. This is how we can use alter command to add the constraint. We can also use alter command to drop the constraints. Means alter table syntax is alter table, table name, alter column, column name, and just we have to specify drop constraint and then constraint name. See, if this is the table, in that first name is having constraint not null and we want to remove it, we want to drop it, then simply we have to write alter table, student table name is we have specified, then alter column, column name is first name, this is first name where we want to drop the constraint, then write the word drop constraint and specify the constraint name. We have specified not null constraint name. After that, this table will remove this constraint from that column, and then we can add null values to the table. Means like this. The system will accept the values or the entries which have null values in that column. This is how we can drop the constraints using alter command. Next is rename command. Now this is third DDL command, rename command, which is used to modify the structure of table. Now this structure refers to the name. Means we can change the name of the table. Sometimes we may give unmeaningful name to the table. Then if we need to change that table name, then we have to use rename command. There are two syntax of rename. Alter table, table name, rename to new table name. Now this is the table name which is older one, and now this is the table name which is new. This one is the first syntax, and second syntax is rename old table name to new table name. This is the simple syntax. Means we can write alter table command also, or we can directly specify with rename command. Means we can do same operation with alter table also and only with rename. This is the simple syntax. Now this is the table student and I want to change that student table name with the stud artist. So rename student to stud artist. We have specified the example with the second syntax, which is easier one. Rename student to student stud artist. Once we write this, then that table name will get changed. Next DDL command is drop command. This command is used to delete both records in the table and structure of the table. Now what means record and what is meant by structure? We have seen what is meant by structure. Structure means the columns is specified in the table. Means if a table has 3 columns, then it is called as structure of the table. And records means rows of the table, rows in that table. So drop command is used to delete both records and structure also. Now there is also another command which deletes only one of them. We will see later. Now syntax for that is drop table, table name. Simply we have to specify the table name of that table which we want to delete it. For example, student is the table name which we want to delete from the database. If we write drop table student, then it will delete all the records from the table student. These all the both the records with along with whole the structure of table. Means that whole structure will also be deleted from the database. See, if we execute this command, everything will just be vanished from the system and there will not be any trace of that student table into the database. Now next DDL command is truncate command. It is also used to delete all the rows from the table, but it does not delete the structure of table. Means it delete all the rows from the table and free the space, but it does not delete structure of the table. We will see syntax is truncate table, table name. For example, I want to delete all the rows or records from the student table. Just specify truncate table and table name is student. So after executing this will be the scenario of the database. Means we have only deleted all the rows from the table. Means all the data from the table but not the structure of table. The structure of table remains into the database. That is the difference between truncate and drop command. Drop command deletes both while truncate command deletes only the record, not the structure. I hope you understood the difference. So we have discussed all the DDL data definition language commands of SQL in this video. For another types of commands, check the next videos. And if you like this video, then please like and subscribe the channel and try to share your comments in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you so much.